On the day that I'm recording this, it is World Autism Acceptance Awareness Day, and I want to share with you the one thing that I think you need to know about autism, because there are a lot of stereotypes about autism. There's a lot of misinformation about autism, and what I would like to get across to you is that autism is just a different way of thinking. And if you have known autistic people, you might think, well, that's not really all that I'm seeing. I'm seeing all kinds of other behaviors that are going on and a lot of difficulties, and sometimes there's self-injury or injury to others. There's learning difficulties and all these other things that go on. And I don't want to minimize that, because we have experienced a lot of those things as well. But I do want to get away from the idea that autism is a tragedy, that it is this terrible thing. There's a lot of talk about trying to find a cure for autism. And I don't really think that that's what we need to be doing. We need to find ways to help autistic people excel and to live their best life. But I don't think autism is actually something that needs to be cured. Autistic people are not broken. They're not broken people that need to be fixed. They're not sick people that need to be healed. They are people with a different kind of brain. And this is the concept of neurodiversity, which means basically that there are many ways in which the brain works. And autism, along with other things like ADHD, fits into what's called neurodivergency, which means it is different from what we would consider neurotypical, which is the majority of the population. So how does that fit with all of the different things that we have? Well, the way I try to explain it is this. Imagine that you have used a certain program, and you have used it on a PC, and you've always been using it on a PC. And then you find yourself having to use a Mac, and you're working on this MacBook, and you go to use that program, but things aren't quite where they're supposed to be. Some of the menus are different. The ways that you do different things don't work quite right. Some of the shortcuts that you're familiar with don't just seem to be happening the way you expected it to. And you're working with a different system. There's a difference between a PC and a Mac. And so that's going to create some confusion. It might create some frustration. I've experienced that myself in that way. And in many ways, that's what neurodiversity and neurodivergence looks like, specifically with autism, because we have a world that's set up for people with a certain kind of brain, that we accept input and sensory issues in a certain way, and it's just accepted that way. And then you place people who have different brains into that setting, and they're going to experience all kinds of difficulty. There's going to be communication issues, there's going to be sensory issues, there's going to be dysregulation, all kinds of things that are going to come about because of that. But the problem isn't that their brain is different. The problem is that our world is not necessarily set up for people with those brains. And there are things that we can do. We can work at giving people accessibility, and accessibility is so much more than a wheelchair ramp or an elevator. We can be accessible in terms of the sensory input that is being absorbed by people with autism. We can control the lights and the sounds and all of the other things. There are things that we can do. We can give people space. We can be patient and be willing to listen to what they need to help themselves through any difficulties they might be facing. So that's what I want to share with you, that autistic people are not broken. they are different, and that is okay. It is as okay as we have PCs and Macs and whatever else is out there. It's a diversity that is good and is part of the beauty of the human race. And so I would encourage you to accept people with autism as they are rather than trying to fix them. If you want to learn more about autism, I'd point you to my website, disabilityandchurch.com, and I have a section there specifically on autism. Thank you, and God bless.